What's up YouTube and YouTube artists? Welcome to my channel. My name is Louis Ning Chang and today I'm going to guide you through a full step-by-step Wildstyle Graffiti tutorial where we are going to take a Tony's name and transform it into a Wildstyle piece with tips and tricks to make your graffiti pop. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on more graffiti art tutorials. And now let's get started. Step 1. Choose your font. So first things, Wildstyle starts with a strong foundation. I recommend finding a basic font outline. Just type in font in Google and pick one that speaks to you. This will help you with the structure of the letters, but don't get too attached to the font because we're going to make it your own. Step 2. Sketching the basic letters. Now I lightly sketch out the basic letters of Tony's name. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Just let we're building the framework. Keep it light so we can make changes as we go. This step is all about getting the shapes right. Step 3. Bending and twisting the letters. Once the basic letters are in place, here's where the fun begins. What is all about bending and twisting your letters, turning them into something completely unique? Okay, hold on, my fault. Wildstyle is all about bending and twisting your letters, turning them into something complete and unique. I started with a small adjustment, curving, stretching, and connecting the parts of the letters to make them feel more dynamic. This is where we start adding style and flow to the piece. Step 4. Adding arrows and extensions. Once the arrows or extensions are in place, I start thinking about the depth. Adding the 3D effects to your letters make them pop off the page and really brings them to life. Add some shading and drop shadows to give the letters a more three-dimensional feel. You can get creative here, but keep the light source and in mind to keep it consistent. So if you look at as I draw, after I draw the perspective, I use perspective, 3 kinds of perspectives. We have 1 perspective, 2 perspective, and 3 perspective. And when I use a ruler and viewpoint, I put right in the middle, so I'm using 1 point perspective here. Okay, I'm beginning to erase right now. Adding color. Now we're moving into color. Wildstyle is all about the boldness, so I pick the color scheme that stands out. I start blending colors with markers, working on layering and gradients to create that smooth street art finish. I usually go for a mix of warm and cool tones to give it contrast and make the letters really stand out. The colors I choose are the terracotta, latte, walnut, basic gray 2, and some fresh color. Now, while you are watching me color, I like to talk about a little bit about history of the Wildstyle, so you can understand where the came from. Wildstyle was born in the street of New York City during the 1970s. At the time of the graffiti was exploding across the boroughs, especially the Bronx. The young artists, mostly teenagers, were tagging their names on the subways, trains, turning the city into a moving gallery. It was all about identity expression and rebellion. At first, it was simple, just a nickname or initials in the bubble letter, but then as time we got more creative revolution writers and started to pushing the limits of the style. They added arrows, connections, and twists that when Wildstyle was born, graffiti most complex and unreadable art form. Wildstyle is like a visual puzzle made to make read by the writers. It's not meant to be easy to read. It's meant to be respected, and it's got arrows, interlocking letters to 3D effects, and often hides the style or actual name inside the jungle of the style. By the 1980s, Wildstyle spread beyond New York City. Writers from LA, Europe, and beyond started to develop their own versions of the style and develop, but the foundation stayed the same: complexity, secrecy, and raw visual rhythm. Today, Wildstyle is everywhere, from walls and art show to digital art and every tattoo. It's no longer just underground movement, it's a respected art form, but even tattoos is no longer just a underground movement, it's a respected art form. But even every now it holds the same rebellious heart. So when we draw the wild style, you're not just designing the letters, but you're tapping into the legacy built the street kings, letter scientists, and creative warriors that turned spray can into weapons and precisions. Okay, so what you're watching here, I'm beginning to use the gray, and I really carefully. Sometimes when you use markers, I think when it comes to blending, you should right when I using the other brown colors, like I actually make sure when you add the next adjacent color, make sure you blend right there, but while the ink is still wet. So that's the best result you get from the actually using the markers. But I'm using gray over here to color into the graffiti, what you call it, blocks or something, whatever you want to call it. And take your time. See, the color markers I'm using is alcohol based markers, and that's the one I'm using. And they are kind of all kinds of markers. You got water based colors, and alcohol markers. Now, my opinion about that is the alcohol markers should be a little bit better, good for illustration. So every artist have a different way of using. Sometimes I use a combination, or maybe sometimes a combination, or maybe of the two, water-based and alcohol-based markers. As you see over here, sometimes the markers will actually run on ink, but I take the initiative to use the marker until it is no longer usable, and sometimes you get a nice effect off of it. So right here I'm using the brown Sharpie marker, and since I'm blending all the edges, you see all the blends. Okay, right here is basically called a hard edge. So particular hard edge right here, I get to draw without blending, so it's gonna be. You know anything about fine art? Because I'm educated in fine art. That's soft edges and hard edges. So if you look at the marker I use in the way I color, that's also soft edges, but that's something that blending in and light to dark, and that's something that is a whole different situation. Right here you see I'm adding bubbles to it, and that's like a very classical traditional way of doing graffiti stuff, like when it comes to the details. Now a sharper we call it Sharpie markers or alcohol based, and I like using them myself. But sometimes I right now at the moment right now I'm using Blick alcohol based markers. That's what I'm using. And I think in this particular design, sometimes like if you don't really need to add the detail, you don't have to. But sometimes you go back and look at the artwork. Okay. Now, okay. Step 7. Outlining with pen and ink. With the color added, I grab my pen and ink to outline the entire piece. This makes the letters pop even more and sharpens the edges. Take your time on this step and feel free to add extra details or patterns to the outline. To give that signature graffiti style, make sure to draw the thick to thin outlines to make it look more interesting. We look at step 8, final touches. When everything outlined and colored, I take the step back and look at the piece as as a whole. Do I need more arrows, more shading? Maybe I want to make one of the letters bolder, or just the color balance. This is your chance to fine tune your Wildstyle piece and make sure it looks just right. I will put some music so you can watch me draw with the ink. But don't go away. Keep watching to the end. I have something else to say. And that's how to create a Wildstyle graffiti piece from the start to finish. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, make sure to like this video, leave a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel for more graffiti tutorials. My name is Louis Ning Chang. Thanks for watching.